Bigfoot right now, back on the radar at a Tampa Bay park.
He died here in 1978.
So you've got Gilbert the Ghost after you.
Gilbert the Ghost, yeah, great name.
Who are you going to call?
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Is something really out there? 3 more U.S. senators received a classified briefing about UFOs at the Pentagon.
Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff.
I like the most scariest, terrified thing I've seen in my life. Seen in my life. Seen in my life. Seen in my life.
Welcome to Mysteriousnesses, episode number 41. I'm your host, John J. Joined with me, as always, Hugh Carey, Lauren Lance. Yeah. On this episode, we're going to be talking about royal family conspiracies and light language.
Do we really want to?
I
That's
think
all
so.
anyone's been talking about right now is the royal family.
That's this is a hot issue right now. Is the royal family and why are they still around? I don't know. I'm gonna say I like it. You know, I
don't care for hereditary privilege.
It's like fancy WWE.
Boring WWE.
I like it for Britain, but not for us.
But not for us.
Yeah,
well,
I like it for them.
I definitely don't want a king.
Do you know what irritates me is, did you know that, like, I forget, there was like a city in Ohio or something where they took all the flags to half mast because the queen died? It's like, that doesn't really work for us.
That doesn't translate well. I mean, we did have like this whole
Didn't
thing,
we,
like
like-
17, like what?
Yeah, that was a long
Taxation.
time ago.
What's going on?
Well, the reason that this royal family has persisted so long is because, and the only royal families that have still persisted to this day is because when they noticed everybody getting their heads chopped off in France, they were like, hey, you know what? Do you guys want to form a government?
Well, there's that.
We're cool with some
be-
of you doing
We'll be
something.
figureheads. We'll live in the palace, but you guys get your own government.
Well, but they're also like OG public relations. Like,
Yeah.
they call it charm offensive is what they do when they go out and they look cute on purpose. Is
And
to
then,
be like,
you know, there's something to be said about the king's speech during World War II or whatever. You know, he's inspirational. You know, got the recruitment effort up to, you know, fight Hitler and whatnot. You know.
I guess.
What, wasn't it Winston Churchill that gave that speech? 'Cause
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth was queen at the time, I think.
No.
It was about World War One.
Queen
World War
Elizabeth,
One,
yeah.
Yeah.
Queen Elizabeth became queen. She was like queen, like it was
Queen
after.
Regent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was.
Yeah, she was after World War II for sure.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Either which way,
She was like she was on the throne for like 70 years or something.
I've always loved the monarchy, specifically the British monarchy. But if you follow any monarchy, you realize it's actually one big monarchy because
it's the
they're
Habsburg
interbred,
family.
they're related. The Dutch are related to the royals.
Yeah, they
in
married
England.
their
They're
children
all
off to
fucking
each other.
Nazis.
It's
They're
back
all
and forth.
Nazis.
Well, isn't like Charles like a verified Nazi?
So
Isn't
here's
that
the
a
story
thing?
behind that because I know. I'm going to let
Okay.
you know.
Let's,
So Queen Elizabeth's father's brother, okay, so her uncle, the one who abdicated the throne, he was setting up deals with the Nazis and was working with not only the Nazis but the Allies as well because as any monarchy would probably want to do, they want to play both sides because you don't know who's going to win. But ultimately, when he abdicated the throne, there was this moment when it came out to the public that he had actually been working secretly with the Nazi Party.
Oh, and King Charles?
No.
Because I was going to say, he's not old enough.
No. It
To
was
fuck
her
with Nazis.
Queen
His
Elizabeth's
dad.
uncle.
Oh,
No,
okay.
Or is his uncle?
So Queen Elizabeth was the people that are in charge now were not in succession. They were not next in line. It was her uncle when he abdicated the throne.
Okay.
The line of succession had moved over to the brother, and that was Queen Elizabeth's father. And that's when the new lineage started.
Oh, because he was a Nazi.
Well, no. He abdicated the throne because he fell in love with a common woman in France. And
But
then
he was
he's like,
also a Nazi.
well, then, yeah. And then eventually it came out that he had been working with the Nazi Party in the
Or
early
so he's a Nazi
30s.
sympathizer.
He was.
There was an American Nazi party too, like Charles Lindbergh.
He was a.
And a lot of the conservatives were pro-fascist.
I mean,
Still
Coca-Cola.
are.
America was dealing with. We were selling Fanta to the Germans. So
What?
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't
That's
know
why
that.
we have Fanta, because they couldn't sell Coca-Cola to the Nazis because it would look bad.
So yeah, Fanta.
That's where Fanta is Coke for Nazis.
That is making the.
That is
Fanta,
true.
Don't you want to?
That's making their like
I don't know, is
cutesy
this true?
songs like. Wait, so they were like Fanta's like the ABBA of drinks.
Yes. That's not a conspiracy, honey. That is facts.
What?
But anyway, so yes, Queen Elizabeth's uncle, who was the original king prior to her family taking on the lineage, was a Nazi sympathizer. And then there was this era in, I believe it was in the late 50s, where they had to basically, it was a moment of shame on the country because Winston Churchill was vehemently against the Nazis and fascism and supposedly whatever. And that's when they did the Land Lease Act with America, and then, everything kind of happened. But yeah, girl, I love the monarchy. I be knowing shit.
And we were worried about filling up time on this.
I
shit.
can fill up. I
We
will
haven't
talk
even
about
gotten
this.
to the conspiracy.
She's not a lizard, folks.
Well, not anymore.
She's an amphibian.
Dead.
No, that's what I'm telling everyone is that she shed her human skin and came into her immortal lizard body, and now she's currently on a space probe headed to Delta Centauri, and where she's going to rule and hopefully produce thousands of lizard offspring.
Someone said that she's colonizing hell as we speak. And I'm like, you know what, though? She probably is.
She's getting spices from the third ring of hell.
Well, I think she's the first monarch that actually didn't do any colonization, right? The first English monarch that
I think.
Well,
like,
yeah,
they had
because she
stopped by
relinquished
that
India
point.
during her reign.
She
Yeah.
did, but she
and Hong
also,
Kong.
But she also
well-
sustained many colonies as well.
And
Yeah,
for the
that's
people
true.
that are on the right side of our listening viewership, she also helped establish the League of Nations, which created the State of Israel. So that's where a lot of that anti-Semitism comes from with her in reference to a lot of stuff.
But now all the conservatives are like pro-Israel, so it's
not the QAnon people.
no, I guess not.
Girl, look up Ghislaine Maxwell and Mossad. They don't like them.
So what are some of these conspiracy theories? I know you wanted to dig into.
I mean,
some
we
good
were
ones.
already talking about her being a lizard, so we should go there.
Well,
first.
that's the David Icke stuff from
He's so
the 90s.
played out.
I don't know.
I think David Icke is a reptilian, personally.
Yeah.
Probably, maybe he's telling on himself.
Well, the reptilian theory that also just kind of, if you follow deep enough, it's just anti-Semitism.
One of my favorite
Yeah.
online
it's the scapegoat thing.
conspiracies was like Biden was going to visit her or whatever, and like they saw something like kind of like coming out of his like jacket, and they're like, "That's it! It's a snake tail. It's proof that he was a lizard."
It's the rattle of the snake.
And it turned out to just be his rosary.
Yeah. So this article that John found, the headline says QAnon conspiracy theorists think that Queen Elizabeth
I didn't
was
find
murdered.
this one.
I didn't put it in here.
I did.
Oh.
Okay. Somebody. I
Oh,
was going to
okay.
say I didn't find this.
Yeah, I added a bunch of articles in there.
So wait, this is such a good sentence to lead off this
That's
article with.
why.
Is this it? Okay. Prominent figures in the QAnon movement.
So the QAnon shaman. That's the only one I know.
Well, Marjorie
The president
the
king
guy-
of QAnon.
The guy with the hat.
Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote this? What? So the prominent, if there is such a thing, figures in the QAnon movement have promoted conspiracy theories about Queen Elizabeth II after she passed away on Thursday. Before we even give this article any credence, why would they make conspiracies about the person that's a reptile that we supposedly, they're taking away the energy of humanity to prevent us from ascending to the fifth dimension? How does this, the mental gymnastics.
Hold on, that was a lot right there. We just said. That was
You
a
gotta
lot.
watch some of the old episodes and catch up. But for real, how does that work?
I mean, I don't understand the mechanics of keeping us out of the fifth dimension, but
Also, everything that QAnon says is insane. Did you spill your wine?
It's got
no.
a twisty cap, so no.
Okay, good.
Oh! She was like, the bottle has a cap.
This is why I do twisty caps.
Not
corks.
sponsored by Frontera. A fine vineyard.
But if they would like to sponsor me, talking
this
about
should be the
lizard
podcast
people,
sponsored. This is the one that 9 out of 10 QAnon shamans prefer.
if we had a sponsor, it would be a methadone clinic.
We do have a sponsor. We're sponsored by Mean But Clean Soap Company. Check out meanbutclean.com.
Does your pussy stink?
/something planet for 10% off your first order.
Wash the scales off your reptilian asshole with your new pussy smell.
There's no conspiracy around them telling you you're gross. You actually are.
All right, back to the article. Followers of QAnon who often spread wild claims about prominent figures of celebrities soon after their deaths turn their attention to the British monarch who died she was a kid.
Ripe young age.
Young age of 96.
Well, for a lizard, that's not very old.
You know, I don't know how many rings around the neck you can count, but anyways, one leading online QAnon profile, which I wish there was a link because I want to know. I want to know the leading profile. But anyways, the Patriot Voice, aka here it is. If I'd have just I'm drinking, y'all. Frontera, what's up?
Sponsor us.
The Patriot Voice, aka John Sable, and his wife Amy has organized a number of QAnon events attended by far-right figures and GOP lawmakers.
Okay.
So, okay.
Wait, the couple suggested that Queen Elizabeth may have been killed as part of a vague plan in reference to a radical movement he believes that has been carried out for years. And the more I read this, the less it's giving me. Here we go. Here it is. This is interesting. The Patriot Voice noted that the Queen's death on Thursday happened exactly 1,776 days after the first Q drop. Who's
1776?
Is that a coincidence?
Yes.
It is. It's enough for them.
No, but is it? Is what I'm asking. Oh, are they saying that
1776
is when we gained our independence from England. So the first Q drop happened, and it's been 1,000. Bitch, I ain't looking up a calendar and verifying the math on this.
Patriotic turn I didn't expect.
Oh yeah, girl, you know Alex Jones has a whole book titled "The Answer to 1984 is 1776." It is so MAGA.
That is ew.
Yeah, but it does say
or they just made up that many days. They just said the number in hopes that who's going to count.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not pulling out my calendar from 2000 and whatever, how many years this is to check.
It's a simple math formula.
If it is real, what's more concerning to me...
Did you say Israel?
Israel? Is it real or Israel? Conspiracy.
I bricked him. I did it!
He's dead now.
So wait, here's the thing.
He's gone brain dead.
Because I don't know whether to lead
is
into...
dumber for having heard it.
Yes, thank you, Billy Madison reference. Because my problem is we can go in so many ways with that comment, and I don't know if it's worth getting banned off of every single platform because we're already treading the line by even talking about this.
I'm only saying that because anyone who's into conspiracies, and we all know this, is that the problem with digging into conspiracy theories is that at some point you're going to hit some really gross anti-Semitism. That's just
that is what I've found.
That's what happens.
That's why we have to rebrand conspiracy theories and make the
I just want to talk
Italians
about
suffer a
fun
little
stuff.
bit.
Yeah, and also it's definitely the Italians. Have you seen the Vatican?
Have you been to a Pizza Hut?
They're going to resurrect Mussolini. Did you know?
My therapist was actually asking me about Catholicism the other day, and I was like, I really, really like all the blood cult ritual stuff, but I really dislike the child rape.
Yeah, it's like, can we have one without the other?
Yeah, come on,
stop
ruining this cool blood cult with your kid rape.
I would like to start my own conspiracy now that we're bringing it back to Mussolini, though. I think that Trump is the reincarnation of Mussolini.
You're giving him too much credit, honey.
No, but
Mussolini
think about
made things
No,
happen.
you know what? You're right. It's not reincarnation. They just they took his brain off of ice and then they put it in his body, but it's not
and then
working
injected Adderall.
It's not working at 100%, but it's still
all
the
right,
kind
I think
of
we're
same
getting
thing.
off topic here.
I just built. I did it.
Yeah, we can
I'm
talk about
cute.
this on a different one.
I did it.
and we won't. I'm
Anyways,
just saying that
sorry,
right now
I
to
totally
placate
interrupted.
Lauren.
All
Anyway,
I
let's
know
finish
is
this.
I'm looking for buzzwords in this article because literally there's no reference to anything. It just says something about here with 8chan and 8kun, and they're saying that I guess they're battling the cabal of satanic child abusers, which included leading Democrats because, AOC is like down up in Jeffrey Epstein's island, summoning, I don't know.
She's not even old enough to have.
And then it's like,
Well, they always show that picture of Jeffrey Epstein sitting on a bench with Ghislaine Maxwell
I
in
did
the
see
cabin.
in the cabin
and Queen Elizabeth was sitting in the same
That's
seat.
the cabin that Queen
Yeah.
Elizabeth owns.
Oh.
I'm guessing
Yes.
that's a.
Is that an Airbnb for pedophiles and child abusers?
That's what I'm saying. That's what the internet has been saying for a while.
Okay.
Because they were actually pretty closely tied. Also, like Charles in particular has some pretty close ties. to
Well,
her.
Prince
Charles
Andrew
in
has
charge.
been actually had charges brought
Yeah,
to
well,
him.
he's been stripped of all of his royal titles for that shit.
No,
Yeah.
I've been saying forever that fucking
Dude's a
Prince
kid-
Charles
kid
got
fucker, yeah.
Yeah, he's got more child skeletons in his closet than the Vatican. Like that's for
Oh,
real.
absolutely.
For
Oh
real.
yeah.
So basically, this Newsweek article, the entire article was only to say the following statement. The Queen died exactly 1,776 days after the first Q drop. This is more of a recruiting tactic than QAnon itself.
Yeah.
It is.
Because this is garbage. Like, if you are wanting to
This
be a
is, and
reputable
this is from
news...
This is from Newsweek. This isn't from some right wing crazy shit.
Well, at this point, they might as well be, because they're...
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
If
they're
you're-
using
if-
their platform to post this shit.
If you're like one chromosome short of a human and you read this and it's like, oh my God, you know what, let me just go to 8chan and just dig a little further. And that's all it takes.
So I wonder if you knew there was a Q convention that it was.
Yes and yes.
Would you go?
Absolutely. You know what?
I feel like I would get
Let's do it.
stabbed.
It's kind of my
Oh.
dream to go.
Oh, honey.
Like, just like kind of undercover. Just
Well, there was a Q convention. It was called January 6th.
I don't think you wanted to go to that.
I
You
don't wanna
just
go to
didn't
that
make
one.
it to that one.
No, that's a little bit too.
You have to be
illegal for
openly
me.
carrying.
All right, so Ding Dong, the Queen is dead. We got a king. Long live the king, Charles.
He's got like 6 months.
Yeah, it'll
Tops.
be William before we know it. Let's move on. Let's move on to light language.
Can we just a little bit more on the Queen? Cause
Yes.
A little bit more.
Just a little bit more. I have some
Okay.
thoughts.
Yes,
about, There's some
Queen.
things that I've been wanting to talk about with the Queen.
Okay.
So one of my favorite conspiracies about the Queen is that she's actually been dead for a while now, back when she caught COVID, and that they've been using a body double to get her past her jubilee because no reigning monarch has reigned for that long. So that was like their goal, which is like, we just got to get her past the fucking goalpost. And they did. And I personally think the timing on it is questionable.
Why?
Because
96
it's
was
fun
too young.
to think that.
96 was too young.
I'll never like go all in on a conspiracy theory, but that is a fun one. That's one
I
of
mean,
my favorite
I think
ones.
what do they say that like the average that if a person in a long-term marriage, if their spouse dies, what the average is 6 months
Yeah, it's
until
pretty
they die.
quick,
So
yeah.
I mean, it kind of falls into that time frame. It's pretty close to average after your long-term spouse dies. So I don't know.
Oh, now it's sad.
Yeah, now it's sad.
It is-
Oh, they were in love when they ruled over people.
Rich people died.
Yeah. Okay, so light
Okay,
language.
That's all I wanted.
Before light language, can we just do like a quick 5-second thing on the offensive 9/11 menu that came out at this Clubhouse restaurant?
Oh yes.
Did you hear about this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to pull up the menu right now as we speak, so that way I can actually see it.
So now, like, you're listening to this and you're imagining, like, what's the worst thing that could be on a celebratory 9/11 menu at a diner? And let me promise you that it's worse.
It's quality because I'm telling. Okay, I wanted to get the full menu.
You interrupted light language and you didn't have the full menu yet?
I have it here.
What I love about this is that, like, you would think that, like, oh, it's offensive, so they meant it to be, like, mean in an offensive kind of way. No, I fully believe that this is intended with, like, the purest, like, never forget sentiment, but it's just poorly
I
constructed.
hope they were trying to be offensive because
I don't think they're trying.
Okay, ready? Here are the items. I saw this on Barstool Sports. They're a much bigger podcast, obviously. But anyways, it was called Patriot Day 2022 Seafood Sunday. Okay. The first item on the menu was $29.77 chowder. That's how many people died on 9/11. The next one, Flight 93 redirect hot crab dip with crostini.
That is how I refer to my
menu item.
vagina. Regular.
Because when I think of Shanksville, I think of hot crab dip.
The crostini.
Okay, hold up. Next, first responder flatbread. A crispy oven-baked flatbread loaded with tender shrimp, fresh tomatoes, spinach, garlic, and mozzarella.
I don't understand why they called the flatbread first responder if it's like crispy baked. I feel like that should be steel beams.
Well, no, if you think when the building was collapsing, it was sandwiching, so it was flattening.
Oh, God.
You got to think about these things. Also, they missed out on a real good opportunity
This is not.
here.
Remember, Hugh didn't make this up.
No,
Somebody
this
else
is
made
real.
We'll
This
put
is
this in
legit.
the show notes.
So wait.
So you can read along.
But what's funny is the pricing here. I'm sure it's like $10 for the crab dip. They could have made it $9.11 if they really were aiming to show support.
Yeah, if you really want people to not forget.
You ready for the and for if you're into
They didn't have
seafood-
mom spaghetti?
not
Never
yet.
forgetting.
Freedom flounder.
Oh no, that's what's going on right now.
And then just your generic
Freedom flounder is what Lauren also calls her box.
That's true.
it melts steel beams, folks.
So hot it melts steel beams.
It's jet fueled. 9/11 oysters with a chipotle remoulade. To wash down your freedom flatbread, you could order a Remember Teeny. Do you know what's in a Remember Teeny?
I feel like you're going to tell me.
Key lime rum cream, coconut rum, pineapple juice, a splash of cream served with a whipped cream honey graham rim. So like when I remember being in 11th grade and like brought down to the cafeteria in school and they had on the TV, like I remember seeing the people jump out of the building.
Where were you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
where was
listen,
you?
I remember as a youth seeing the people falling to their deaths, and I thought, what better way to be memorialized than with a Remember Teeny, right?
Or did we get mattress sales this year? Have we gotten to that level yet?
We're not there yet. Give it another year.
One more year, and
I
we'll
think-
have mattress
Could
sales.
you imagine
9/11 mattress
9/11
towers.
just turned 21. It's got a year to drink.
Could you imagine the sales pitch? 9/11 mattress sale. Look at the bounce on these things.
Oh God.
I'm gonna make so
I'll
much
let you
money
be
in
the
marketing. I'm gonna make so much money in marketing.
And for dessert, we have the classic Pentagon pie.
Pentagon pie.
Listen, A for effort.
Well, that was very informative, Hugh. But now we don't have time for light language, so we're gonna have to get out of here.
All right, well, we'll just do light language.
Thank
on the
you
next
guys
one.
so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to check out our Linktree. It's linktree.com or it's linktree/somethingplanet. And that's all of our links. On the next episode, we're going to be talking about light language, and also we're going to be doing a review.
Pink carnivorous mist.
And pink carnivorous mist.
We never talk about it, but we talk about it.
Pink carnivorous mist is real, okay?
It's real, but we've never brought it up.
Did you say Israel?
No. So we're going to be talking... now I can't remember. What's the name of the documentary we were just talking about? The documentary about the goblins. I'm trying to end the show here.
Goblins? Hellier.
Oh, hell yeah. We're going to on the next episode, we're going to do a review of the documentary Hellier, part 1 and part 2, and we're going to be talking about light language. All right. So stay tuned. Check us out. We love you. We'll be back.
We're drunk. Bye.
Good night.
All right, we should do...
You should mute us.